Good day, this is Leadership TV News. I am Nefisat Abdurrahman. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has disclosed that the establishment of the Armed Forces Radio has denied terrorists the oxygen of disinformation and misinformation in the fight against terrorism. General Musa stated this in Abuja at the 10th anniversary of the Armed Forces Radio, saying the station fosters community dialogue by addressing social issues, promoting understanding and building empathy. He noted that the military over the past decade witnessed the power of radio to transform lives, shape public opinion, and inspire listeners. From a humble beginning to becoming a household name, this station has remained committed to delivering high-quality content, entertainment, education, and information to our esteemed listeners. The CDS remarked that the Armed Forces Radio has, over the last 10 years, worked very hard to secure a sizable listenership in the very competitive broadcast environment of the Federal Capital Territory. The presidency has announced the tenure extension of the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, by 1 year. Prior to the extension, Adeniyi's tenure was to have ended on August 31, 2025. According to a statement on Thursday by presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga, the extension, approved by President Bola Tinubu, will enable Adeniyi to consolidate ongoing reforms and complete critical initiatives of this administration. This, the statement highlighted, to include the modernization of the Nigerian Customs Service, implementation of the National Single Window Project, and the execution of Nigeria's obligation under the African Continental Free Trade Area ACFTA protocol. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has backed the introduction of compulsory and random drug integrity tests for students in tertiary institutions across the country. This decision followed a meeting in Abuja on Wednesday with the chairman and chief executive of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Marwa, retired, where both parties discussed measures to curb substance abuse among students. In a statement on Wednesday by the agency's spokesman, Femi Babafemi, the minister also approved the review of the current secondary school curriculum to incorporate updated drug education and committed to forming an interministerial working group with the NDLEA. Babafemi said the NDLEA boss had proposed a three-pronged approach, revisiting drug education content in schools, introducing standalone drug abuse prevention programs in secondary schools, and implementing a drug testing policy for tertiary institutions, including for new students, returning students, and random testing. Mara described the drug scourge as a threat to national security and youth development, citing its links to criminal activities such as terrorism and banditry. He disclosed that the agency had arrested over 40,000 drug offenders and seized more than 5,500 metric tons of drugs in the past 2 years. Responding, Alausa acknowledged the urgency of the problem, stating, "When the youth gets into drugs, they won't go to school, and even when they go to school, they are not getting a functional education." The minister stated that drug tests for fresh and returning students in tertiary institutions would be done. He announced the creation of a substance use prevention unit within the ministry and confirmed that a revised curriculum for secondary schools was underway. On the sports scene, former Barcelona midfielder Carles Perez has been hospitalized in Greece after he was beaten on the genitals by a dog while walking his dog in Themi, a suburb of Thessaloniki, on Tuesday. The 27-year-old was reportedly trying to separate his dog from another during an attack when he sustained the injury. He was taken to a private hospital in Panorama with a deep gash that required 6 stitches. The Greek club Perez recently joined on loan from Celta Vigo, Aris FC, confirmed on Wednesday that he had suffered a soft tissue infection from the bite and had been ruled out of Thursday's UEFA Conference League qualifier against Aras. Manager Mourinho confirmed that Perez had been set to start the game, Carlos would have been in the starting lineup, he said. Moving to entertainment, tension flared in the Big Brother Nigeria Season 10 house on Wednesday as housemates Big Soso and Imisi clashed over food preparation, turning the kitchen into a battleground of words. The incident followed a directive by the current head of house, Jason J., who placed Big Soso and Otega in charge of managing food supplies for the house. Trouble began when Imisi decided to cook her own meal, a move Big Soso found problematic. According to Big Soso, Imisi has developed a habit of claiming she's cooking for herself but ends up preparing meals large enough to feed multiple housemates. This, she argued, was wasteful and undermined the house's food management structure. Soso also complained that using a whole fish for what was supposed to be a personal meal made it easier for some housemates to eat more than others, further complicating food rationing in the house. Imisi, clearly offended, fired back at the accusation. She accused Big Soso of hypocrisy, noting that Soso herself had eaten an entire fish without anyone questioning her. This kitchen clash is the latest in a series of brewing tensions in the house, where power dynamics, personal habits, and competition continue to create friction among the 29 housemates in the 10th edition of the Big Brother Nigeria reality show. And that's it on Leadership TV News. For more of our news stories, you can log on to our website on www.leadership.ng. I am Nefisat Abdurrahman. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 08036886158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 08036886158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.